as the world moves more towards AI and computers and automation, we can't forget about the human touch. I think the human touch is going to be what, you know, ultimately separates good businesses that last from businesses that are just flashes in the pan. And we are committed to doing at least 2 live events every year. We call it our Painter Growth Mastermind, and we theme them differently every time.
Okay.
Our last mastermind was Millionaire's Mindset, which you were at, and
Yeah.
thank you for supporting us. You know, we love having you, you guys, you know, at our events. So we had Millionaire Mindset. Before that, we had you are not a painter mastermind. You know, encouraging people to grow their identities and get off the brush. You know, you're not a painter. You are not your business. You need to make decisions like a CEO, like a board member, not just like an operator.
Yeah.
And then this coming up mastermind, we haven't officially announced it yet, but I believe that our theme is going to be, hang on. I want to get it right. It's, hold on. I got it right here. The theme coming up is built to last.
Okay.
And it's about building a business that will withstand the test of time, because that's what we all want. We want to build a business. We want to build a legacy. We want to build financial security. If you get hit by a bus tomorrow, what happens to your business?
Yeah.
Probably ceases to exist. But if you
Most
build
people,
a
yes.
that lasts, you have systems, you have people, you've delegated authority, you've delegated decision-making power, and it will hopefully last and provide for you and your family, you know, long after you're gone.
That's absolutely amazing. I don't know if you know this, but like I grew up in a painter household, and my mom and dad got divorced in probably around like 1990, somewhere around that ballpark. And when they split, they both got into contracting. My dad got into flooring, and my mom got into painting. But I was living with my mom, so I spent a lot of weekends and summers and stuff doing painting. And then as I got into teenage years, it got to a point where I was like crew lead, and then I was managing like PMs over a bunch of different crews and stuff like that. And then that ended, and I went to the Air Force. I only stopped working there because I wanted to go in the Air Force, right? So I was a painter for like a little over a decade, starting from being like really, really little. What was interesting is like, even though our company did like a lot of volume, at one point it had like 13 crews. Like later in life, she ended up unfortunately passing away in a traffic accident. And like I was the head of the estate, which is not something really fun to go through, but like at some point most people will. So I did all that. And what's interesting is when we actually got into like looking at the business, like it could not survive without her. Like it was mine. I could take it, and I can heavily considered it. But when we actually got into the numbers and the systems and the processes, it was valueless without her, minus the equipment. And so it was a really tough call. It's like, hey, this family business that I personally had put a decade into, minus a gap of going in the Air Force and stuff. But like I got back, and this is before the marketing agency stuff. I considered, hey, I could just take this business over. But I looked at it and it was like, this is not really viable. So in that case, exactly what you're talking about, like if you get hit by a bus, in this case, get in a car accident and die, is that business going to sustain? And in my mother's case, unfortunately, that family business stopped with her. It would have been easier to just start a brand new business, the way it was structured, the systems and processes. And it was not set up for that. So I love that you're going down that subject, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have that a lot of those issues in their business. I mean, even me right now at Painter Growth, like we're working, and hopefully I can. I'm hoping to be able to bring a GM in to Painter Growth by the end of the year, so I can take a little bit of a step back operationally, focus on some other projects, still be involved from like a strategic level, and maybe the podcast phase still, but really step back operationally. And as I'm preparing for that, because it's like a 12-month journey to prepare for that, I'm finding like so many legacy systems that do still exist in my head, even though I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job. There's just a lot. So I think if you set that goal like a year out, whoever's listening to your business, say, I want to step out of this role within a year. Like what has to be true for you to truly not have any of your input anymore? Like, for example, one of the credit cards we use at Painter Growth is a personal credit card of mine. And it has a really high limit. It goes great, and it gets lots of rewards. And I chose it because of the rewards that it gets. But because it's a personal card,
it doesn't transfer. It stops with you.
I can't delegate
Yeah,
access to it. No one else can
I
pay
know.
that card off for me
I
and
know.
see the
I
balance and
know.
whatnot. So every month I'm sending my bookkeeper that statement. And so I need to just make that decision or rip off the Band-Aid. All right, we're getting rid of this card. We're going to get a company card with worse benefits because that's, what's available. But the end goal is me being less involved in that one system. Right? That's just
Yeah.
one thing. Right? And then there's way, way more, obviously, but that's just like one very clear cut example. It's like I need to remove myself. We need to make a decision that isn't ideal, but we made a legacy decision. Now we need to change it so that I can step back from that.
I personally like, and I still do this a couple times a year because I'm on the same goal too. Like I am CEO, so I do have executive decisions that are still going through me. Like I have department heads and they do their thing and they have autonomy to run the departments how they want. But there are still things that come to me and things that, like if I was fully removed, there's a gap, right? Like you were talking about with you. There's some things that like I need to work on as well. But what I really like doing, and I try to do it a couple of times a year, is do the fishing test, like where you just go on a vacation. Doesn't really matter if you're fishing or not. Just go on some vacation and completely disconnect.
Yep.
Absolutely, completely. No calls, no emails, no nothing. Personally, do whatever you want, but like work wise, just let everybody know I'm not answering anything. And what's interesting is like when I came back on this last run, I just got off of like a few back-to-back trips, and I came back to a slew of issues and problems that were stacking up waiting for me to solve. And I was like, okay, that's where I need to put attention to.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's a great advice for anyone who wants to eventually get there. And you don't have to start with 2 weeks, right? Start with
You can start
literally
with a couple days.
Start with email. Turn
Yeah.
off your phone at 5 p.m. and turn it back on at 8 a.m. and see what types of voicemails you get, right? What
Yep.
has to be you. And then
Yep.
once you get some evenings done back to back, you chain a few together, try a weekend, right? These are things anyone
Or
can do.
especially like an extended weekend, like a Memorial Day weekend, like a 3 or 4 day weekend.
Yeah. I mean, now we even level 3, right? Let's get
Mm-hmm.
even more hairy. And
Yep.
then try a business day.
Mm-hmm.
And then try 2 business days, right? And work up to 2 weeks. Because if you just go 2 weeks, your business will be effed.
Oh
You don't
yeah,
want
yeah, 100%. I would say if you've never done a day to start with 2 weeks, that solid point there. I'm just saying like where I'm at now, I can get away with 1 to 2 weeks. If I were to go away for a month though, I'd have pretty big problems. So there's a limit there for where I'm at operationally. I can walk away for 1 week easy. 2 weeks is pushing it. A month I can't get away with right now because of where my systems are at.
Well, there's 2 parts of it. There's one, like, can I do it? Right? Can I walk away from my business for 2 weeks? Yeah, I actually could.
Mm-hmm.
But what is going to happen, or what's not going to happen if I do walk away for that time? One of the main roles that I'm in charge of right now, which is a significant one, is the podcast and strategic partnerships. So I'm dealing with industry partners. I'm dealing with people like you, with different influencers, with Sherwin-Williams, and that's my role. So if I left for 2 weeks, no one is talking to strategic partners. I guess we have a partnerships manager, but she's not making deals. She's selling sponsorships. She's not making deals.
Mm-hmm.
And I do often say that your ability to grow your business is limited only by your ability to delegate more and more complex tasks. And so I have not yet grown to that spot to be able to delegate strategic partner deal making for my company.
Hey, if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. If you're looking for help growing your contracting business, I invite you to join my free community. In there, we go live with amazing trainings, share resources and downloads, plus you get free help from me and from peers. That link is down below to join, and we'll see you in the next video.